In 2018, David Gordon Green gave us the best Halloween film since the original. Until October 2022, he gave us Halloween on Acid with Halloween Kills. Michael's back like you've always wanted him. This is slowly becoming maybe my favorite Halloween movie. What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. Thanks for coming back for some more popcorns. Ooh, it's Halloween ends tomorrow. Yeah, I feel like it's my birthday. My birthday. Look, I am so happy with what David Gordon Green did with the 2018 Halloween movie. And when that came out, it was immediately my second favorite Halloween movie next to the original. But God, I gotta say, when this one came out, the more and more I watch it, I feel like Halloween Kills is my second favorite one. It's definitely my most favorite to watch. It's just too much fun, and it just screams the Halloween vibe, and it screams Michael Myers. And Laurie. The fact that David Gordon Green has been able to bring Michael Myers back to the pop culture realm and make him be taken seriously. It's not a joke anymore. It's like you're scared of Michael. And this one did so many things to add to the Halloween lore. It just wasn't making another Halloween movie. Just like the 2018 one. That one added to the story. This one does the same thing. Now, I know that there are some people out there that don't like aspects of this movie, and they don't like necessarily the way the movie ended. I love it all. I think it's great. We'll get into some of the stuff that people don't like, but for the most part, we're just going to talk about how much I love this movie. It picks up right where the 2018 one left off, so much to where if you link them together, I edited a version of it myself, and you can just watch it from start to finish. The beginning of Halloween 2018 all the way through the end of Halloween Kills. I love it when movies do that because it feels extremely connected. Because this movie takes place in the same night as the one in 2018 did. And then it does this really awesome flashback thing to where you see Hawkins back in 1978. And to film an actual flashback like that, and insert it into the film is pretty ambitious, especially filming a flashback to a legendary horror film. But not only does it add to like the lore of the original film and add to that story, but it adds to the kill count too. And on top of everything, they have this guy in there who is literally like a Dr. Loomis lookalike. He looks exactly like Donald Pleasance. And if you watch behind the scenes on this, on the Blu-ray, they talk about showing up on set one day and there was this guy like in the sound department and everybody was just like, holy sh!
Get your energy, get your energy, get your energy.
So we have this guy, Tom Jones, who's like our set construction guy.
It's Dr. Loomis!
The second we walked on set, we said this guy looks like Loomis.
And so they were able to get him in and put him into the movie and everything. He wasn't even an actor. But it looks just like him, and it's not CG or anything, or de-aging. Like I said, it adds to the lore of the first film, it adds to the body count, and you get to see how they actually caught Michael. Because in this timeline, at the beginning of the 2018 one, Michael is captured again. Halloween 2 and all the sequels going forward, none of those exist. It's just Halloween 2018, and Halloween Kills. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Matichak, and Judy Greer all make their return in this film, but you have some characters from the original movie showing up too, like Anthony Michael Hall playing Tommy Doyle, Kyle Richards playing Lindsay Wallace. Now, Kyle Richards is actually the same person who played the little girl in the first Halloween movie. Anthony Michael Hall isn't the guy that played Tommy Doyle, but they just got him because it was a better choice. But Kyle Richards is kind of already famous anyways with her whole like Famous Housewives TV show. And then even Nancy Stevens, who played the original nurse in the first movie and who was also in Halloween H2O, she plays the same character in this, and they're all playing these characters from the original film who are still struggling with that night of Michael Myers attacking them in 1978, just like Laurie's been struggling with it. We just didn't see them in the first movie. They do a really good job, though, of introducing those characters to you, and by the time you get to see them at this bar that they're hanging out with, and Anthony Michael Hall gives this speech, you really feel like you know them. You really feel like you cared about them, and you already knew them, because they're the same characters from the original movie. But it immediately cuts to Laurie, Karen, and Allison, them driving away from the burning house that we saw at the end of 2018 Halloween. And then we get that awesome scene of Michael Myers coming out of the house because we see that he was hiding, and he just comes out of the burning house and annihilates those firefighters. I love it because in the trailer, everybody saw those firefighters getting all jacked up, and you saw maybe one or two more kills they were alluding to. But everybody was saying, oh, they just gave away the whole movie in the trailer. And in actuality, all they showed you was like the kind of the kills in the first 5 to 10 minutes. It was great and brutal. Yeah, you f him up, Michael. I mean, just that firefighter massacre alone is legendary. The fact that, oh yeah, this one guy took out 10 firefighters. Jesus. My two favorite kills in the movie, though, are definitely the two old people. The people that live like kind of down the road from Laurie's house that's now on fire.
But that stink ain't cigarettes. That's Laurie Strode's house on fire.
It shows them hanging out, just getting boozed out, having some fun. Yeah. The way Michael kills the old man and the old lady. I mean, it's just drawn out and brutal, and you feel like you're there. It's gruesome. Michael plays with his victims afterwards a little bit, and you get to see that, and that's what's cool. In a lot of the movies, he's got his victims posed up when other people find him. He's sort of got them like displayed in some weird way. Well, in this one, you kind of get to see that in-between time of what happens before he displays them, or what he did to display them. It really dug into Michael Myers more without revealing any more about who's under that mask. And the fluorescent bulb kill? Come on, so genius and original. How come I never thought of that? This one doesn't suffer from the sequelitis, as I call it, because it doesn't try to change anything too drastically from the 2018 Halloween. Doesn't try to up the ante too much, except for the kills. You just have a way bigger body count in this movie, and you get to see more of Michael on his quest, which is murdering people. But there's great homages throughout this film, just like there was in the 2018 Halloween. But you get to see like the kids wearing the Halloween mask from Halloween 3. You know, the one with no Michael Myers. They're up in a hospital and everything at a lot of points, so you're starting to have these Halloween 2 vibes, but then it turns into something totally different, and he doesn't go there with that, which I loved. I love how it feels that way for a second, and then does its own thing. Because this isn't a remake, this is a continuation of part 1. But Michael's more brutal, the kills are more insane, the music is more intense, which is still done by John Carpenter and his son. And you got this great scene with Scott MacArthur and Michael McDonald. They play a couple, and they're all just hanging out in this new house, which is actually Myers' rundown home from the past. Apparently they got like a cheap deal on it because of that, and they've renovated it and everything, and they're just having a great time. They're really funny in the movie. You're celebrating Halloween night. And in fact, it reminded me of this old Halloween song in there that I love that I've been listening to ever since.
They take you and shake you until you shout, stop, look, and listen.
It's Halloween. But man, their kills are just insane and brutal. And then that's where we sort of kind of find out what Michael's purpose is and what his sort of goal is. And I love it because it's so simple. They figure out his whole thing, his whole ambition when he was breaking out of the institution in the first movie is he just wants to go home. Remember, there's no sister connection in this or anything like that like they did in the original Halloween 2. This one is just, he wants to go back to his house. And I just love this idea that he's like simple-minded in the sense that he just wants to go back to his house. And he'll kill whoever gets in the way of him getting there. And I do think that he likes killing a little bit. He has to. So one of the main things that people don't like about this movie, and it actually doesn't bother me really at all, the hospital thing in the beginning, maybe it kind of bothered me, but I think I was just listening to people too much saying, oh, I could deal with this hospital scene. Because everybody in this hospital scene is getting riled up by Anthony Michael Hall's character, Tommy, and he's like on the rampage of trying to get people riled up. And he's like, we got to fight evil tonight, because now they realize Michael's back. Especially after that bar scene where Tommy walks out of there with a bat, and the bartender's just like,
Tommy Dog gonna fuck him up.
oh, I love that part. It's hilarious. But he's getting all these people riled up, and everybody's just starting to chant, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight. And the more I think about it, I kind of buy it. I think that people would be scared and traumatized over these events that happened in 1978 in this small town. And the fact that it's going on again and they're finding out all this information more and more and more, it kind of makes a little sense. And remember, in 1978, he killed a lot of young teenagers, people's kids. So like I said, the more I think about it, I do kind of feel like that this town would rise up. And the other thing that a lot of people didn't like is how they sort of started focusing on this evil element, this sort of supernatural, unstoppable Michael element.
I always thought Michael Myers was flesh and blood, just like you and me. The more he kills, the more he transcends into something else impossible to defeat.
That's kind of always been there, and they lean on that way more throughout all the other sequels in the past. But what a lot of people liked about the 2018 Halloween is that they weren't leaning on that. They weren't leaning on the supernatural evil element as much. And they're slowly going into that with this film. I kind of like that. that kind of makes Michael the monster, the unexplainable monster. Now, I don't think that they're going to make him like unkillable. I just think that they're making him just maybe the fact that evil does have a presence to make you stronger. I may be going off the rails with that, but for some reason it works for me and it resonates. I like it. And people didn't like that scene at the end where Karen leads Michael into the street where everybody's waiting for him and everybody's got all these weapons. I mean, hell, you get this one lady who's got an iron in her hand in the back. But people don't like the idea that they're able to like get the jump on Michael and they have him and all of a sudden he comes back and he slaughters everybody. He's even on the ground and he's able to get like 10 people in front of him that are standing up and take them all to the ground and not just take them to the ground but kill them. And he even kills Tommy. But honestly, it's one of the darkest scenes of the movie and I love the way the music is. I love the way it's filmed. These close-up shots of Michael where the light is just shining very, very slightly on his side of his mask or from the behind his mask. It's beautiful. Makes Michael dark, threatening, menacing, and like Dr. Loomis has always said, pure evil. Not only does he kill Tommy, but then he slaughters Karen too up in the house because she thinks that they won. She thinks they got him. She didn't realize that all he wanted to do was go back to his house and she's standing up in his room. I loved it. At first I had to decide if I liked it or not, like right when I saw it. But by the next day I was like, nah, I love this. And then when the extended director's cut came out, it makes the movie so much better. It extends a little bit of the flashback scene, but it definitely extends the Michael scene at the end where he's slaughtering everybody. It even extends when Michael actually kills Tommy, his specific death scene within that whole slaughter scene. It extends Karen's death scene, and it has this thing at the end where Laurie's walking in the hospital. It has way much more of a feeling of like, oh shit, I can't wait for part 3. So if you haven't seen the extended version on Blu-ray, I totally recommend that one. I feel like it's one of the few times that the director's cut is better than the theatrical cut. I give Halloween Kills an A+. I love this movie. Like I said, the more and more I watch it, it becomes my second favorite to the original 1978 Halloween, and it's definitely my favorite one to rewatch. I love it more every time I watch it. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh popcorns.